Hello. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I know you can hear me. Hi, Melisha. Hi, Melisha. I know you guys can hear me because guess who tested her sound before she went live? Was me. 'Twas me. Hi, guys. What's going on? What are we doing? What's happening? Guys sewing, working on Hepburn tops. Hemming my Loretta wearable muslin. That's exciting. Hello, hello. Oh, it's Marin. You're running around the house trying to get in steps. Well, I say that's commendable. Kate is cutting out the Rita expansion. That's exciting. I'm drinking water. Aw, thanks, Melisha. You look beautiful too. I can't confirm, but I'm pretty sure you do. I decided to dress up for you guys today. And I don't really know why. I was kind of thinking about what to wear today. And I was like, I'm feeling kind of festive. I feel like in a sort of party dress mood. So I put on my little L'Amour dress, working my sarong skirt, and wearing my parakeet hoops. I was considering, guys, do you remember this? I was considering wearing this. What do you think? Too much? This is what I ask Melisha every time I put this flower in my hair. What do you think? Too much? Too much? Is it too much? Or just enough? I look like I'm going to eat dinner on the beach at a fancy restaurant. Hello, hello. Hi, Michelle. Never too much. Okay, all right. I'm going to leave it on. Go for it. All right, this is my look. This is my look. It's just a sort of casual stay at home kind of look. I actually curled my hair last night and slept in my rollers. I've been like super lazy about doing my hair lately, and I've just been doing like a really quick hot roller set if I can be bothered. That's like the maximum I can be bothered to do. But last night I did my pillow curlers. So I have these fluffy, like, I don't know, Jean Tierney waves, Rita Hayworth. Casual stay at home as your nightie. Yeah, I mean, earlier today I was in a popover dress because I did have to go to the studio to print something briefly, and then I got back into sweats. And then I decided to put on my party outfit. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, so this is the look. This is the look. Are you guys wearing your tiki outfits? Made the Loretta shorts, and now my mom wants some and keeps bringing it up. Oh, Lucy, are you going to make her some? That would be really sweet. So yeah, this is welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday. So I don't have a topic today, and I was considering canceling because I was like, well, I don't really have anything to talk about. And the past couple days have been so busy testing things out. So we're kind of like trying out a new pattern right now. And the past couple days, I've just been like racing the clock both days to try to get like a muslin made so that I can give feedback to our grader at the end of the day and then get a new pattern the next day. So I've just been like throwing things together. And then I was like, well, maybe I should cancel today. Will they mind if I don't have a topic? But then I had already done my hair. I was like, I don't want to waste my hair. So, and I'm going to take pictures of my sweater tonight that I just finished. It's not Tuesday. It's not Tuesday, is it? Is it Tuesday? Is that what you guys are trying to tell me? It's Wednesday. My phone says so. My phone says it's Wednesday. So you guys are funny. Don't mess with me like that. So I'm going to be taking pictures of my sweater lately. Should we admire my sweater again? Oh, this flower looks good with this sweater. 100% thought it was Tuesday. Oh, you like my birdie hoops? Thanks, Michelle. So I'm going to take pictures of my sweater in a little bit. So my hair was done. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. We don't need a topic every day. We can just meet and greet and discuss and open discussion, Q&A, preening, fanning, trying on hair flowers, fanography, that sort of thing. Oops, my fan is stuck. What's going on here? Oh, there's like a stitch caught in a sequin. There we go. There we go. Coke Zero moments. Yeah. Fan preen. You watched my sarong tutorial yesterday? That's awesome. Melisha and I was actually thinking about that tutorial the other day. Melisha and I filmed that together in the studio. Melisha, do you remember? Do you remember? Oh my gosh. How much behind the scenes do you want on this story? So so the pattern had just gone. Okay, so let's go back. L'Amour dress, we've been like pre-ordering the expansion. And that had like this sarong skirt in it. So it's like a pencil skirt with the sarong drape. Please share. And you guys had been like pre-ordering your patterns and we've been promoting it on Instagram and everywhere. And then we decided to do a video tutorial for the sarong skirt, just the sarong skirt, because there are some parts of it that are kind of tricky. So we decided to film, and this was before like Patreon, before Gertie's World, and like before we had like amped up the YouTube presence and all of that. So doing a video was like so hard. It was like always an ordeal, and it was always just me and Melisha like with our phones. And we hadn't like figured out a way to work into the budget to hire anyone to do this stuff. So poor Melisha was like, were you like standing on the table? I can't remember. All I remember is that we needed to get a shot that was super wide because the skirt facing goes all the way around the bottom of this skirt that's like a wrap. So it opens up into a big U. So then you have this like, you laughing, you were like on the table, right, Melisha? So then we had this like U-shaped facing that's so big. And to get a shot that's wide enough, Melisha had to hover over the table with a phone. And that's how we filmed it. And then we discovered while we were working on it that there was an error in the pattern. And something had happened with the grading or something. And this is the thing. The thing that you guys need to understand about the whole process of making patterns is that it may seem like from the other side, if you find an error or like the notches don't match it or something like that, you're like, don't they check these things? And the thing is like, we check them so many times. But what happens is like when things are going back and forth between various programs and file formats and freelancers, the file keeps getting reconverted. So even if you just need one little change, so if I have to go back to, let's say I work with a grader and she works in a grading program, I say, okay, we need a change here. She has to make that change to the file. It has to be re-uploaded and converted to Illustrator for the designer to work on it, the graphic designer. So it's like a nightmare, and errors can be introduced at any stage in the process. So you can be fixing an old error and a new error can be reintroduced, and you may not find it because you weren't checking for that error. You were just trying to get the pattern out the door and you were just fixing one last thing. So anyway, that's all to say, like, this stuff behind the scenes can get really crazy, and errors happen, and they happen when you're working with a lot of technical information, when you're working with a lot of technical files, a lot of different sizes like we do. So anyway, something had happened and something wasn't the facing on the sarong front where the ruffle is wasn't matching the skirt. And there's this like fold over, like a self-facing kind of thing. And it was like heart in your stomach moment, because we already sent it to the printer, the tissue printer, and we tested this so many times. Like, how many times have we made this dress, Melisha? And it was just super frustrating and terrifying. So, but the good news is they hadn't started printing yet. So we were able to like tell them to stop and work just with the graphic designer to get the pieces to line up again. So it was really scary. And I will always remember filming that video because of you hovering over the table, Melisha, and that like terrifying moment where we found out this thing that we had sent to the printer was actually wrong. But it all worked out in the end. And the pattern is fine. The pattern is fine. So thank goodness they had not started printing it yet. But yeah, that was scary. That was scary. We're nominating Melisha for Queen Melisha. Queen Melisha. I like it. Oh crap moments, yeah. Hi Missy, do you like my subtle hair flower? So Michelle asked, I have a question. How do you make patterns based on measurements? I'm trying to make clothes for my family and I. So that's like not a simple like question and answer kind of topic, because pattern drafting is something that is very technical and needs to be kind of shown hands-on. If you want to learn sort of the basics of working with a basic pattern and adapting it and making style changes, I always recommend this book called, guys, what's it called? I always forget the name. Design Your Own Dress Patterns by Adele P. Margolis. I think I got it. We always make it work. We do. That's the charm motto. We always make it work. In the end, it always works. Queen Melisha. Oh, she's got her crown on already. This is so cute. Angeline wants to know, I have a question while we're on the topic of sarongs. What is the best way to line it? I've read that you can line it instead of using the facing, unless you say facing is the best way to go. I personally think the facing is the best way to go. The lining, you could line it to the edge, but you're just gonna have to do a few tries and make sure, because this is an opening right here. This is like a dart, and one half of it is gathered into there. So the facing goes all the way to the ruffle right here. So you could certainly try. Off the top of my head, having not worked on this pattern for quite a while, I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but that's one of those things that if you want to make a change like that, I would really recommend trying it. Just try it, play around. You know, you can cut out some little pattern pieces. Just try it out and see how it goes would be my advice. Trisha says, are there directions for the bib option for the Loretta shorts? So the bib option is from the Stanwyck skirt. So if you're looking for instructions, they're going to be in the Stanwyck skirt instructions. What's the best place to get a good quality muslin? I've been ordering mine from Vogue Fabrics because you can order a whole bolt and have it delivered. So that's what I do. Kate says, I also suggest tracing or taking apart clothes that fit them and make patterns from that. But yes, making patterns from scratch is very difficult. Yeah, I would say if you're going to try to make a pattern from an existing garment, it's best if it's something you can take apart. A lot of people try to trace their garments, and unless you're going to be super meticulous with like laying out each part of the garment and getting it completely flat and making sure you get like a one-to-one copy, a lot can get lost in the translation of tracing. So I would just be aware of that unless it's a super simple garment, like just, you know, a tunic or something like that. How do you guys watch the Sewing Bee? That's my question for you. I have only watched like one season of it, and this was way back. And I think I got a Tunnel Bear. Do you guys know that? So you could like watch something in another country. Is that how you do it if you're in the US? How do you watch it? YouTube has all the episodes, even the new one. Okay, so yeah, US people, that's my question. The latest season that people are talking about right now. Oh, Vanessa says, I tried watching on YouTube, but it said it wouldn't play here in the US. You can watch it on the Sewing Bee Reddit, no Tunnel Bear needed. Cool. All right. That sounds great. I'm working my way through Great British Sewing Bee. That's my like knitting show right now. If you search around Reddit, they post links. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks. It's like a Sewing Bee subreddit? Shawnetta says, when will you have your live chat on your couch or in front of your fireplace again? I don't know, Shawnetta. This space is nice because it's like always set up for live streaming. Over there is it's a real mess because I'm working at home still. I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know what you guys think is easier. Wait, what am I talking about? I lost my train of I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm still working at home, and the living room is a little bit harder to convert from the workday to a live stream. So I've been doing it here, but your request has been noted. Which pattern do I think is easier, boardwalk or jailbird? I think 100% boardwalk is easier. Jailbird was easy too once I got past the shoulder shaping. So we're talking about knitting now, in case you don't know. So the boardwalk blouse, you just knit like straight across the top here. Like this is just a straight edge, and then you seam the shoulders together. So it's like a slash neck. With jailbird, you have to actually like shape out the shoulders and like scoop out the neck. So you're like, it's like a slope shoulder. I mean, if we were sewing, we would just like cut that shape out, right? But if you're knitting, you have to like do increases and decreases and all of that, and cast-ons and all of that to get the shape. So when I started making jailbird, I was worried because it took so much concentration. I was just telling Alicia this today. I was like, I had to like sit and study those instructions, and like there could be no distractions, no Great British Baking Show on, like none of that. I was like, I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna make these shoulders. And then once you get down to here and everything's joined, it's like super easy because you're just knitting a tube. But yeah, that shoulder shaping is really tough. And I just started my Rizzo, which doesn't really look like much right now, but you'll kind of be able to see what I'm talking about here. And this one really rolls. So like this is like the slope of a shoulder. You're not going to be able to see anything. This is the back neckline, and then this is the other shoulder. So you basically have to make a shape that goes like this, one shoulder, scoop out, down for the other shoulder. And it's just, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I got through it, and I'm not an experienced knitter, so I got through it. But you really have to pay attention, and like YouTube is your friend. Like every term you don't know, like Google it. I know I've been really busy with the knitting. Yeah, I thought Boardwalk was really easy and very quick too. I made it in 3 weeks, start to finish, so that's pretty good. What did I have to do to the neckline of my jailbird? I just did fewer rows on this thing, the neckline binding. So I think I did like 4 fewer rows than the pattern called for. And then I just did a standard bind off rather than the super stretchy bind off that the pattern called for. So the Boardwalk pattern is by Poison Girls. Unrelated question. Why not? Why not? Do the Loretta shorts have a zipper or an elastic waistband? They have a back lapped zipper. All right, everyone. So tonight I'm going to take photos of my rainbow boardwalk sweater. I might try to get photos with the Shasta camper out back. So yeah, I'm excited. Got to get some accessories going. Oh, and I got a Wi-Fi extender thing. So I'm hoping to be able to do a live from the camper. And the other exciting thing is I'm going to do a joint live stream with a special guest on Friday. I think it's going to be on Friday. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for an exciting announcement about what I believe will be Friday's live stream. Marion says, question, what pattern were you working on earlier? You're so naughty. So, oh my gosh, guys. I was working on something for Patreon. So I don't know about you guys. No, I do know about you guys. I do know about you guys. I was gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but this year has been so crazy. It's been crazy for everyone. And I feel like we've just been having some long discussions trying to figure out where things are gonna go. Like with charm patterns and like where various patterns are going to be released and in what format and when. When we were in the studio, like we had this whiteboard. Remember the whiteboard, Melisha? Ugh. And we had like every month we had like, this is what we're going to do for YouTube. This is what we're going to do for Patreon. And like we had it all mapped out. And we were both sort of simultaneously working on things. And we had like, we were just like so organized all the way into the future. No, Marin. Marin's getting reprimanded. And then the quarantine came about, and we've both been working from home for 3 months. And it's just been like really difficult. And I feel like we're scrambling every month. And things that we thought were going to work for Patreon, like we're changing, or I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to bring Melisha into this, but like had to kind of rethink some things. And it's just been a crazy year trying to figure things out. And I think we're going to do less than we would I know we're going to do less than we would normally do for charm patterns. But the Patreon is like super strong. It's just like what's going to happen when. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're kind of figuring it out now. But we have some like fun stuff coming for Patreon. And the one that and so Patreon next month, I'll just let you guys know now that it's going to be a schedule a little bit similar to what we did in, was it April? Where we had a smaller project released on the first of the month and then had more things for you later in the month. So that's the plan, guys. You're going to get a small project on the first, and then you can look forward to more later in the month, which I think is kind of fun because then it's not just one big thing on the first, right? You guys like that? So that's the plan. What about books? Like writing more books? I mean, I would love to someday. I got to tell you guys that this is like pretty much all I can handle right now. Yeah, like this is pretty intense right now. So like trying to get the Patreon content done every month, and then also try to figure out what's going to happen with charm patterns. So I mean, not what's going to happen with it, but what we're going to release and when we're going to be able to get back to a schedule of releasing more regularly. So yeah, I think now that some states are getting back to more normal, we get a lot of questions like, when are you going to be getting this back in stock? When are you going to be getting that back in stock? Or when are you going to do this expansion? And it's like, we're like treading water some days. I mean, we're amazing. We're amazing. And we're strong, independent women, but like our tissue printing plant was closed for several months. Like we've both been working from home. Melisha had to turn her house into a warehouse shipping plant, essentially. So things are going to be kind of backed up. I mean, I think that's going to be the way it's going to be for everyone. So yeah, just kind of like if there's something that you want from us and you feel like we promised it or it's not in stock or something like that, just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And all the PDFs are always in stock. So I will say that. I need to hire more people. I mean, that's kind of the dream. And we were sort of talking about it before the quarantine. So that's definitely a possibility. And also working with more people in various, I'm going to be very vague right now, in various capacities is something that can happen in the future too. But as far as like hiring and all that during a quarantine, probably not going to happen. So you work for puppy vets. So, you know, right now, I think our goal is to keep the Patreon going at the quality you have come to expect, and hopefully release one more charm pattern this year, possibly two. I'm being very transparent right now. Am I telling too much, Melisha? We're gonna have a month off. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Why did I get into all of that? We're strong, independent women. Thanks, Marin. It has been really strange, hasn't it? Yeah, and we don't want to like overload you guys with patterns because every now and then you guys will say we're releasing too much on Patreon. So I was telling Melisha, I was like, we don't want it to be like your New Yorker subscription where you're like, you feel guilty because you haven't been reading it, and you're like, I guess I should unsubscribe. I'm not really taking advantage of it. So we don't want to like overload you with stuff because I know we all like sewing time is limited for all of us, but we still want to keep you like really excited and engaged. So yeah, I don't know. It's what a year. What a year. No such thing as too much patterns. Have several seats. Yeah, I don't know. Why did I get into that? Did I answer a question or am I just rambling? Am I using this as my therapy session? What a year. What a year. So yeah, that's the Patreon is really the focus and it's been really fun. It's been super fun. This is everyone's therapy session. Talk about my feelings. Oh, Michelle just finished up her Stanwyck skirt. It went amazingly well and I love it. I'm wearing it to work tomorrow. That's awesome. We love to hear that. Why did I start talking about this? I feel like I went so far into my head just now. I will cut my Starbucks edition before canceling my Patreon subscription. Thank you guys. Yeah, so Patreon is the focus. Charm is the next focus. And then maybe a book again someday. I don't know about fabric. I saw someone ask about fabric, and I feel like that's just not really going to be a focus for me for a while because that doing something like fabric really pulls focus from everything else. And also, yeah, it's just there's not a lot of great outlets for me to do fabric right now, especially in the US. So, or the kind of fabric that you guys want. Carrie says Patreon has got me into the PDF patterns. Ashley says, I would love it if the old books were expanded into the new sizing. That's something that I can tell you now, just like is not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just like put it out there because I didn't publish the books myself. So if you guys want a little background on all of this, my books are published by like a very traditional New York publisher, and they publish books. Guys, they publish books, guys. And it's called Abrams. It's a totally separate company from Charm Patterns. And all of the grading and all of that was done in a different way. And the sizing was done in a different way too. Like it doesn't have cup sizing. And yeah, it's just a different company. Like, yeah, it's just, I mean, for me, like the sizing for Charm Patterns is because like Charm Patterns is my company. Do you know what I mean? Like that's my company, and the cup sizing is something I can do for Charm Patterns. There's very limited paper, like actual paper to print the patterns on the book. That's why some of them have those like overlapping lines. Publishers have like really like it's a whole other world, guys, like what you can print and how many pages you can have. Like they will be like, you can have 5 pages, but not 6. Like we're drawing the line, you know what I mean? Like there's just, it's a different world, and they can only use like a certain size sheet of paper, and it has to be folded to certain dimensions. And they do these like profit and loss statements like a year in advance, and you're not getting anything else. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's a different world. Like I have to answer to that world. You know what I mean? Like, and the patterns have to be published within those rules. So for me, like, if I were going to do something, like if I were going to make a new pattern or expand a pattern, like it just makes way more sense to go back to like older charm patterns that haven't been expanded yet than to go to my publisher and say like, hey, will you guys like pay me a new advance to expand the patterns on a book that's been out for 5 years and is probably like lagging in sales right now, and you're not even sure you're going to reprint? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really make that much sense. So we love Gertie World. And in terms of like what is going to keep this business going and healthy financially, like that's not it. So forget the book, we have Patreon. So I will say that like everything we do going forward, like it's a better use of our time, honestly, to expand the patterns going forward and to make you new patterns within that size range. Does that make sense? It's just two different worlds. But that said, you know, I still have a good relationship with my publisher. Haven't burned that bridge. Just kidding. And you know, who knows? Who knows? We could do another book someday. If we did, you know, hopefully what I know from, you know, publishing charm patterns now for what, like 3 years, I could bring a little bit more of that world to book publishing, and maybe there could be like a meeting of those two standards, if that makes any sense. Yeah, books are really hard. I gotta tell you, it's so hard. It is so hard to write a book like that. Talk about a lot of technical information. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so for those of you asking for step-by-step tutorials, I hope you've watched all the ones on my YouTube channel, because that's something that we're doing regularly too. There is a full-length tutorial for the Liz dress, for the princess coat, for the Stanwyck skirt, and we're working on those pretty regularly too. But again, like, you know, quarantine being what it is, this is not a time that I'm like going to be producing a whole lot of like super technical videos like that. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're continuing to do. And I did just do a video for a new charm pattern. So yeah, video is like definitely a focus too. There is a sew along for Jane, and there are videos that go with it. So the sew along is on my blog on the Charm Patterns site, and it's a step-by-step. You can read the posts like in order, and there are some videos for some of the more complicated steps on YouTube. There's also there's a sew along for Rita. There's a sew along for B6453. B6556, is that a pattern? I'm just making up numbers now. What else have we done sew alongs for? Jane. L'Amour. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Angel. There is a full free L'Amour dress tutorial in 7 episodes. It's like 6 hours worth of start to finish L'Amour. There's the sarong skirt. So after you've watched all of those videos and made all of those things, then you can come back to me and ask for more tutorials. That's the rule. Where's my rolling pin? Okay, so I want to see all your work. I want to see your princess jackets. I want to see your Stanwyck skirts, L'Amour dress, Jane sets, Rita's, B6556, B6453. Your L'Amour, did I say that already? And then popover. Thank you. There's a popover dress one, and then we'll talk. All right. hate posting your finished work? Why? Guys, any more questions? Questions, comments, discussion? What should we discuss? Also, if you join the Patreon, you get a video every month showing you how to make the pattern. So because we know that people really love videos, the Patreon focuses on video. So instead of illustrated instructions, there's written instructions with some illustrations sometimes, but more video. So we show you how to do everything in the video, and then there's a written instruction guide to help you along in the video as well. Adrian, here's my question for you. So Adrian says, I love the Lemoore tutorial, got to boning my bodice, and then found out my machine didn't come with an edge foot, had to put it on the back burner until I get it. So most machines don't come with an edge stitch foot. That's like a special order thing, as you found out. But I will say that the blind hem foot can be a good substitute for an edge stitch foot. They're very similar, and all machines should come with a blind hem foot. Okay, so a blind hem foot has like a blade that looks like almost like an ice skate blade that goes down the center of the foot, and you can use it the same way you use an edge stitch foot by positioning your needle to either side of that blade and using the blade as your guide, just like you would an edge stitch foot. So maybe that'll help you, and you will be able to get your dress off of the back burner. I wear Loretta shorts, and I do not wear shorts. Use that for your Lemoore. I have that, and you see what I'm saying. Yay. Okay. Adrian's good. Stephanie says, would I consider doing an evening collection of patterns with wiggles and gowns? Gowns. Yeah, we would consider that. We don't do collections so much. Though that would be fun to someday do like a collection or a night and day kind of thing with long skirts. Queen Melisha is the gown queen. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I'll just say that. Very possible. I don't usually wear long skirts, as you guys may have noticed, but I have to say that when I modeled the dressing gown, and that's full length, obviously, I was like, oh my gosh, I am a princess. Now I want like more full length things. So yeah, there have been ideas exchanged and words said about gowns. Wish I had a reason to wear a gown. My life is boring. Yeah, we're kind of talking about that. And I think, for me, I'm speaking for myself, not necessarily for Melisha. She can tell us what she thinks. I think it would be great to do patterns that could potentially be long day dresses or double as evening gowns. So more like maxi length, like swan around your house, quarantine. Oh, I hate when I do that amateur move with my fan going the wrong way. So that's my feeling about it, because then you don't have to, because I know people always feel like you have to have an, I never have to have an occasion to sew something. The occasion is sewing. And I'll figure it out. Melisha agrees with me. Vintage inspired outerwear, like a swing coat. We actually did a coat pattern last year, the princess coat. So check that out. That's like it's a princess coat, very fit and flare with a full skirt. If there's a gown, Melisha must be the cover model. That's been discussed as well. I asked her if she would let me be on the cover with her. And she agreed that I could be on with her. Gertie resort wear. Yeah, so we'll see. Swing coats are great. You know, I've had swing coat inspiration in the folders forever. The Patreon, not the Patreon, the Pinterest. You know, the Pinterest. Sort of like a Jane Russell in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes over the Jane set. I've wanted to do that for ages. Matching coat and cocktail dress set. Ooh, one of those floor-length tiki dresses with a waterfall back. I love those. I love those. I think it's called an angel back, isn't it? And your name is Angel. So it's perfect. Yeah, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. My mom asked me recently if I was running out of ideas, and the truth is there are just too many ideas and too little time. So yeah, I mean, all of this stuff we'll do, I promise, over the years, till Melisha and I are like in our 90s. We'll be like these fabulous older women. So, I don't know, guys. Should I switch fans? This fan is reversible, which is nice. And you don't have to be embarrassed. There's no embarrassment if you open your fan backwards, like this one. You see what I'm talking about? Do you see this? How embarrassed am I right now? Oh, and my thread caught on my sequin again. Oh my gosh. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. It's stuck. This is the Melisha fan. This one also has a right and wrong side. So yeah, this is the most risk-free fan because it's, you know, it's reversible. This is the Epcot fan. I bought this in Epcot. Okay, everyone. I hope I haven't bored you today. I feel like I don't have much to talk about, but obviously I couldn't waste my hairdo. Backup fan. Backup fan. I know, I miss Disney World too. Colin, you'll show me how to flip a fan midair sometime? Should I try it now and then you can give me remedial lessons? No. You have to show me. I won't do it. Can that be like a Zoom tutorial? Yeah, I need to mix up my fanography because this is pretty much all I have. And like the head toss plus fan. So yeah, I need some moves. Colin is their tutorial on fanography. We can get Colin to teach it for us. That is something we need to know. Yeah. Colin, do you have a large collection of fans? I'd love to see that. Flipping fan Patreon exclusive. I learned everything from watching Madonna's Vogue performance on MTV. Okay, we need to make this happen. We need to make this happen. I'm very tickled by this. Yes, that needs to happen. Teach us, Colin. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. That's the live stream. Beginner and advanced fanography on the Patreon. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is that I'm going to be announcing the Patreon live streams for this month, and I think I'm going to do them both next week. Okay, I can't remember what we decided, Melisha, but I'm going to do a crowdcast. I thought we could talk about Loretta Short's inspiration because that's been really fun. I'll make you guys a little PowerPoint presentation. And then I think on Friday, we said we'll do a Zoom sewing circle. So those will be the 2 Patreon live events for the month. So very excited about that. And yeah, I'll put a post on Patreon soon to announce those. You love the PowerPoint presentations? Okay. Good. That makes me happy. Colin, you surprisingly only have performance fans like Chinese New Year parade style, but they're big and loud. Yes. I love that idea. All right, Colin, put together your syllabus for your fanography lecture. It's going to be a lecture, right? Is there a PowerPoint? All right, everyone. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming to my therapy session. Thank you for hanging out with me, letting me maximize my good hair day. And yeah, I hope you all have a great evening or day or morning or whatever it is. So hang in there. 2020 to 2020. Ugh. Cheers, everyone. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Mwah.